Hello, I'm Scott Wilson, and I wanted to take a minute or two and show you the power of network verification for a key critical application, Office 365 Exchange. Or as I like to think of it, the 11th commandment, thou shalt always have access to your email, and thus it is incumbent on us as network operators and engineers to make sure that is always available. So here I am at the Forward Networks UI, but before we can kind of drill in and find out how we're getting to Office 365, let's understand what that application is. So Microsoft does publish a list of IP addresses for Office 365, in particular Exchange, in a bunch of different types of categories. We're going to focus on this first one here out of all this list, which is Outlook.office.com, Outlook.office365.com, commonly what the clients would use. In this, it has optimized required, this ER list of addresses and ports, perfect for us to go ahead and use in the Forward Networks platform. But this optimized required and ER required maybe a bit of explanation so I can understand which path I intend. So here's this ER. That is your express route, not something relevant for my network at this time. But this category is category optimize, allow, or default. Let's see what that means. If we were to go ahead and click through there, we can go in and we can find that optimize means a bunch of things, but I like to think of it here as this line right here. Prioritize reduction or elimination of WAN backhauling, facilitate direct distributed internet-based egress. Essentially saying, go direct to the internet if you can. So if we're kind of go back to our application here, I want to go direct to the internet from this site. So this site has two edge routers here. This one being the primary router kind of dictates which traffic will go over the MPLS and which one will go out to the internet based on a simple policy. And I want to make sure that my network for this application, Office 365 Exchange, is going to take this direct path. Let me know if it doesn't. Let me know if it goes to MPLS. And let me know that it is taking my path to the internet. So in order to get started with that, we're going to go in here. We're going to go to Objects. We're going to create a header set for Office 365. So let's go ahead and say Office 365 Exchange. Make sure I could spell. Optimize. Required. You could use any kind of name that you would like there. We need some addresses, the protocols, and port ranges. So let's go back and get that list. So luckily, I've already pre-highlighted that for us. So we're going to go ahead and copy that list. And we know it's TCP and port 80 and 443. So I'll go in here to this addresses, drop in that list of addresses, drop in IP protocol 6 for TCP, great. And then 80, 443. Go ahead and create that. Now that I have that created, I can start to do some fun searches. So I can search for my host that's at this site. So my favorite host is the 172.16.10.10 host. And I could go to Office 365 Optimize Required. So we'll go ahead and select that and select Delivered. And it looks like that traffic is taking this MPLS path. Interesting, but there's more than one path here. Let's see what the second path is. So some does take this PBR. So some is following my logic. That's great. But the point of this is that I want to be able to add these as verification checks so that as I tune and improve my network and I make it so that I have my policy as I intend, that the network that I have, the Forward Networks application lets me know if those constraints that I have are violated. So let me go ahead and adjust this query slightly here. So I'm going to say egress. And I'm going to select this device, egress through site. We'll select it that way. And then we'll go ahead here and say if it's going out this interface, if it ever goes out that specific interface, let me know because I want to make sure no traffic matches that. In other words, that means something happened where I'm not taking the more direct internet path. And on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and then add another egress. In this case here, through my internet router, and not just through the internet router, but through this one interface right there. And this time I want to save that as an existence check. So now I can come over to my verify. As I adjust these checks, I can adjust these checks for different host groups. So I'm not worried about just that one IP address, right? And I can see from a site level perspective, if I'm going to any of those IPs and ports associated with Office 365 where it should be on this direct internet path, am I ever going out the MPLS, and I can add a little note, say site A via MPLS, and I can say, site A via internet. All right, thank you.